How we doing, Seahawks fans? Welcome in to Seahawks Today Live here on this Wednesday afternoon. Tyler Jones here with you. Happy to have you with us. A lot to get to on today's show as we'll go over the latest Seahawks news and rumors involving Jonathan Taylor. Also, we will discuss Bailey Zappe. We got updates from training camp as well. We'll go over the winners and losers from camp so far. Also doing a Q&A mailbag today. Use hashtag Seahawks to get on that mailbag. And later on, I want to hear your bold predictions for the Seahawks in 2023. Hashtag bold, and you too can get your bold predictions on our segment coming up at the end of today's show. Got 30 people already filing in. As you guys get here and we get this show started, shout out your area code, and we will shout you out here on the show and show you some love. Myself, Trace Gerard in the house here with you today. I see Norcog says Slayer. Am I the Slayer? Are we slaying, Trace?
We're slaying. That's what we do on Seahawks Today. We keep on slaying. We're slaying the Niners. That's what we're doing.
We'll slay the Niners today. More on that in a bit, as we're going to do a Super Chat battle today with our Niners channel that's also live right now. Tyson says, looking stripey, TJ. Hey, brought the stripes. It's making an effect on the screen of some sorts, but you know what? We're showing off nonetheless. Tyson in the 503, I believe that is Oregon there. Norcog, that's a zip code, not an area code. Nice try, though. Let's see. I got Joe Z in the 303, and I got JTCT in Portland, Oregon. Jaime checking in is giving me two area codes, 442 and 760. Which one is yours, though, Jaime? I want to know. Which one do you go by? Is it 442 or is it 760, or do you got two numbers? Thanks for checking in, Jaime. Let us know where else you guys are at. Shout out your area codes, and we'll shout you guys out. Alex checking in from the 512. Free Truth, that's the zip code. Need an area code, but nice. Thanks at least for checking in. The Chosen One in the 503. So I got a lot of Portland folks checking in the chat so far today in the Pacific Northwest. Trace, you have any guesses on these area codes?
So I did see the 503 is Portland. Shout out J7CT. I'm going to say the 509, it's got to be close to Portland, right? I mean, I'm not familiar with all of that well. I'm going to keep it real with you, Chief. But
that would be Eastern Washington, Spokane, Pullman, Tri-Cities, Walla Walla.
The 208. Where's the 208? We're in the 214 right now.
We are in the 214 right now. The 208 area code for the folks out there is the state of Idaho. That'd be like Boise, Nampa,
home of the potato.
Meridian. Yeah. Let's see. What else we got here? The 425 checking in as well.
We got Hawaii, the 808.
Yeah.
That's dope.
425, of course, is the suburbs of Seattle. Let's see, 309, 509 in Spokane, 208, 525. James Mack, I'm in enemy territory, Arizona. Hey, got to represent somehow. I was there a couple weeks ago, and, you know, Seahawks fans are all over the West Coast and represent any way, shape, or form. How many Seahawks coaches can you name all time? Who comes to mind? Obviously, and Trace and I don't want to give too much away, but we'll give you Pete Carroll.
Yeah.
Pete Carroll's
That's an easy one.
Right.
Easy one.
Goes without saying. But how many, we'll have an early MVP for today's show of who can name the most Seahawks coaches all time. Let's see who can put the most in their comment and take the lead to name the most Seahawks coaches. Chosen says, where are you guys at? We're coming at you from downtown Dallas at the Chat Sports Studios.
In the 214.
214.
214.
Yes. Not the 4.
No.
214.
Foe.
Sydney says Pete. There you go. You got one. Let's see. Free Truth. Chuck. Tyson. James says Jim Zorn. Tyson says coordinators. No. We'll keep it simple. We'll go with head coaches. Let's start there. Maybe we can get to coordinators later. But let's see who can name the most Seahawks coaches all time. So far, Free Truth's got the lead with a few names already, about 3 or 4 already from Free Truth. Who is going to see if they can pass up Free Truth. Free Truth making a case to be the MVP. The Chosen One says, are you guys Seahawks fans? Yeah, I mean, I host Seahawks Today. I'm here with you guys with the 12s and hanging out each and every day. Love covering and being a part of the 12s each and every day here on the channel. Trace,
I'm a Saints fan,
he's
but
a Saints
I
fan,
love the Seahawks.
But he's an honorary member of the 12s.
I love the Seahawks, man. They are a fun team. I'm a big Geno fan. Love Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Pete Carroll, I want to see him chomping gum for the next 20 years. I'll keep you the real.
Right? So, Trace, even though he's a Saints fan, he still finds a home here at Seahawks
Absolutely.
Today.
Love the Seahawks.
We're not in the same division, so
No.
it's all good.
Well, and one thing we can all agree on is we hate Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is such a loser. Such a loser.
Let's see. James has got Chuck Knox, Dennis Erickson, Tom Flores, Mike Holmgren, Jim Mora, and Jim Zorn.
Good stuff, James.
James, good work there.
Good stuff, man.
James and Free Truth off to the early lead. Joe Hunt representing the 541 in the Eugene area. 541 big area code there. Goes all the way to Eastern Oregon as well. So, James, good work there. James, as well as Free Truth on naming some of those coaches. What will the Seahawks record be in 2023? How will this team fare this season? Tell us in the comments section what you think their record will be and why. I believe my official prediction for the Seattle Seahawks entering this season, I got them going 11-7.
I like
think,
that.
and let me tell you why, Trace. Because, yes, I think the Seahawks are very talented, but you look at the schedule and all the teams they have to face, I think with respect to your opponent, you're going to lose some.
Yep.
Just based on how much the gauntlet is. You got to play San Francisco twice. You got to play a number of teams all season long, obviously.
Yep.
To me, 11-7 is my prediction. What about you, Trace?
I like 11-7 as well. I'd even go out there and say 12 wins. I think that's out. I think that's very doable as well. Like you said, you have to play some tough teams, but I think the offense got a lot deeper with their weapons. I think that Geno has plenty of receivers nowadays. The defense, Seattle's defense is always going to be pretty damn good. So you can always count on that. I think it's going to be a fun year for Seattle. I like 11 or 12 wins.
The Chosen One says 12-5. J7CT says 11-7. Pablo with a big super chat. We haven't got to the super chat menu yet. Hold on a second, Pablo. Raging Bull 12-5. Free Truth 12-6. Jaden Sealing 11-7. Floor 8-9. Sydney 12-6. Bo says depending on Geno Smith. We'll have more on Geno later. Let's go ahead and get to this big $35 super chat from Pablo. Pablo, we didn't even get to the super chat menu yet, and we have plenty on there. So we owe you a couple things. First and foremost, $35. Thank you, Pablo. Tyler Jones, my birthday is coming up soon. JSN is very good. He is very good, and he's having a fantastic camp. Trizzy, I think for Pablo's birthday, not only am I going to chug this beer, and we're going to take some shots and celebrate Pablo here, but I think we need to sing him happy birthday.
We have to.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pablo. Happy birthday to you. Pablo, spam Pablo in the chat.
Pablo. Let's get him going. Show some love to Pablo in the chat.
Show some love to Pablo. Happy birthday, Pablo. Hope you have a fantastic birthday. Glad that we could sing to you. Let's pour on out. Here's the beer chug for Pablo. Hopefully I don't get this on my shirt as we're just now getting this show started. But here we go, Pablo, just for you.
Do we want to update him on the super chat? Oh, chug. There you go.
All
Gotta
right.
love that. Those mountains are blue.
Mountains are
Those
blue.
mountains are nice and blue.
Let's have some Geno shots, shall we?
Let's do it. Let's do some Geno shots.
There's a professional burp right there.
Yep. Do you want to go? You want to get the comment section popping? You want to
Yeah,
check
yeah.
the super chat menu? What are we doing?
Let's get the comment section popping.
Let's get him going. So
Well, I'm pouring some Fireball here for both of us.
Pablo right now is the super chat MVP, but we can get a comment MVP by rapid fire typing S in the chat. I'm gonna get it started after I take this shot, of course.
Yes. And then we're going to shout out everyone that's spamming us in the chat.
Everyone who does it. If you type it once, if you type it 100 times, you're getting a shout out. So ready, set, Cheers.
Cheers. There we go.
Get
Now,
the S's in the chat.
let's shout out everybody that spams S in the chat. I'm putting a minute on the clock. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Bo.
Let's go, Bo.
Let's go, Bo. Bo
Bo's
knows.
winning. Bo's winning.
Bo's winning. The chosen one. J7CT. Bo Harvey. Free Truth. Bo. J7C2. Free Truth. Christopher Bryson in the house. I got Dustin in the house. Jaden. Christopher. Sydney. Bo. Free Truth. Norcog. Bo. Christopher. Free Truth. J7CT. Steve John. Jaxon Jones. J7CT. Sydney. Dustin. Free Truth. Bo. David. 30 seconds to go. Keep it going.
Keep him going. Faster.
Jaden.
Faster.
Mikkel. Craig. Pedro. Tyson. Bo. Christopher. Pedro. Scott. Free Truth. Faster. Jaden. Christopher. Tyson. Robert. Pedro. Bo. Sydney. Jaden. 5 seconds to go.
4,
Free Truth. Dustin.
3,
Pedro.
2,
Jose.
1.
Sydney. David. Jose. Christopher. Great job, everybody. Getting the chat rate going.
Shout out to Bo for getting things started early.
Bo got things started. Tyson was great. Sydney was great. We might have to do this again
We might have to.
see how this goes. But good job, everybody, getting those S's in the chat. All right. So if you want to get a question in on our mailbag segment, use hashtag Seahawks, or you can super chat to get to the front of the line. So when we do our mailbag segment later on, Pablo, we're going to shout you out at the top of the mailbag, celebrate your birthday. So we'll show you some love. Pablo, cheers to you. Glad we could sing to you. $35 for Pablo. That means he's 65 away from a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. $100 in you, too. I know we got some new people watching today. You could have a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. We are filling this thing up before football season starts, and we'll auction this off probably before it's all said and done. And here's the deal. When we drink out of the boot, I got to tell you, folks, when we drink out of this thing, you are alongside with us. So $100 super chat, and you can be on the boot. So you're having a great time with us, just drinking it down and enjoying yourself. So Pablo or others, $100, you can be on the Boot Hall of Fame. And who knows? We might, if this thing gets crazy today, might have to drink the boot. I got 59 people watching right now. 16 likes in the chat so far. I think we need to get to 30 before we officially start this show.
Facts.
In the meantime, Trace, let's tell the people what's ahead here on Seahawks Today. We got our news and rumors. Going to be talking about Jonathan Taylor and Bailey Zappe. Also, an update from training camp. Got our winners and losers from camp so far. Live Q&A rumors mailbag ahead. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag. And then we'll give our bold predictions for the Seahawks entering 2023. Hashtag bold or Super Chat to get those on coming up later on in the show. The Super Chat menu. Here is what we are offering today, folks. Any Super Chat, you get a shout out. You will get on the show. $5 Super Chat. We'll sing the DK song. We can sing you happy birthday. We can sing you the DK song. We got a number of stuff we can sing to you. $7, we'll do a Geno shot. $20, do a little beer chug like you saw earlier. And then for $50, we'll do a beer shotgun. We'll get that out, and we'll put that to good use. Trace is a master of the beer shotgun.
Love a good shotgun.
If you've never seen this before, prepare to be amazed. $50 Super Chat, and we can get out the beer shotgun. We got two other live shows going on right now. 49ers and Steelers are live right now. And I'm happy to report we're on the board with Pablo's $35 Super Chat.
But we got to step it up.
We do.
The Niners, we got to beat them in this, because if we beat them in the Super Chat battle, we'll beat them in the season.
Right.
It's science. It's basic science.
And what do we tell you guys around here? When we drink, the Seahawks score. And the Seahawks begin football a week from tomorrow.
Yeah.
So why don't we just go ahead and start the drinking now? That way we can position ourselves to get things going. So the Seahawks start the season on the right note. So let's drink. Let's have ourselves a good time. And let's get some Seahawks dubs. Drink for wins. Let's when we drink the Seahawks score, let's keep it up and have ourselves a good time. Coming up next, Seahawks news and rumors ahead, and we'll get to that coming up here on the other side. We'll just about ready to go. Okay. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. All right, so we're just about ready to go, folks. Let's have ourselves a day here on Seahawks Today Live on this Wednesday afternoon. Coming up on today's show, we will discuss if the Seahawks should trade for Jonathan Taylor or not. Sounds a little crazy, right? I got my thoughts for it in just a moment. But first, your chance to weigh in. Tell us what you think. Y for yes, in for no. Let us know if you think the Seahawks should make a move for the Indianapolis Colts running back. So, Jonathan Taylor, the rumors have been out there for a couple days, kind of all over the place about his future as he requested a trade from the Indianapolis Colts. And then you look at where the Seahawks are at with the injuries that were reported in the last few days in regards to Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Could they be in the market for a replacement? Could they go after Jonathan Taylor with the uncertainty with Walker and Charbonnet? Well, let's start out. Let's set the scene for you here. Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network a few days ago reporting that Taylor formally requested a trade after meeting with Colts owner Jim Irsay. That was followed up with a report by Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated, where Breer said that he got a text from Colts owner Jim Irsay on Jonathan Taylor's trade request, as reported by Rap Sheet. We're not trading Jonathan. End of discussion, not now, not in October. October, of course, referring to the trade deadline. Now, Jonathan Taylor hasn't been happy with the Colts organization with how they have viewed his back, as it was reported that he had a non-football back injury, and he says that he never even had back pain, never reported back pain. Not sure who the sources are, but find new ones. So, Jonathan Taylor, who is he? Let's tell you more about him in case you need a little refresher. A 2020 second-round pick out of Wisconsin, a first-team All-Pro selection in 2021, and that season was terrific. Led the league in rushing as well as rushing touchdowns in that season, and he has been fantastic very early on in his career. You look at the numbers beyond just the 2021 season where he had over 1,800 yards and 18 touchdowns. He also was fantastic his rookie year in 2020. Last year, not bad as well, with 861 yards, 4.5 yards per carry, and 4 touchdowns. Now, as we told you, there are multiple outlets connecting the Seahawks with Jonathan Taylor with these circumstances. One of those is USA Today's Seahawks Wire. Here's what they had to say. The Seahawks offense already looks stacked on paper, and adding Taylor would be yet another elite weapon at their disposal. Not to mention, Seattle has around $16 million in cap space thanks to new contracts for Uchenna Nwosu and Quandre Diggs. Certainly more than enough room to make one splashy acquisition and have the financial flexibility to get a deal done. Folks, this is why you drafted multiple running backs. What I've been telling you for the last couple of months, when everybody was concerned about, well, how are you going to split playing time between Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, and who's going to be RB1 and all this? Look, the Seahawks have a history. They wear out their running backs. And remember, Zach Charbonnet wasn't the only rookie they picked up at this position. They also picked up Kenny McIntosh, and he looks really good so far throughout training camp. So, no, the Seahawks do not need to be wasting cash on Jonathan Taylor. No offense, he's a very good player and got a bright future and everything, and I'm sure he'll get paid by somebody. But the Seahawks, not what this team needs right now. They need to take care of defense. They got other priorities. No offense to Jonathan Taylor, talented football player, but this isn't what the Seahawks are looking for. So, let me ask you, should the Seahawks trade for Jonathan Taylor or not? Weigh in. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Y for yes, in for no. If they should add the Colts star running back, let us know what you think. Y for yes, in for no. We want to hear from the 12s. Folks, we are just over a week away from the beginning of Seahawks football in 2023. as we will have our Seahawks versus Vikings watch party coming up on Thursday night, August 10th. Sub for dubs if you want your Seahawks to get the job done and show off and show out in their first matchup of the season. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel and join us for our watch party coming up next week. And between now and then, we're going to do a sub battle between our Vikings channel. Friend of the show, Patrick Seatman over there. They got a little bit of an edge in the sub battle right now. So let's see what we can do to keep up. We don't want to just beat them on the football field, but we want to beat them off the football field as well and prove to them why the 12s and Seahawk fans are the best in the National Football League. Sub for dubs. Let's take it to the Vikings now and show them who's boss here on Seahawks Today. So another bizarre rumor with this Seahawks team is Bailey Zappe, the backup quarterback for the New England Patriots, according to Bleacher Report, has been suggested as the top trade target for Seattle before the season begins. I'm sure the rest of you are thinking what I am. Huh? Let's explain what Bleacher Report had to say. Zappe proved to be an accurate thrower when pressed into action, and the Patriots won both games that he started. Getting him early in his career, developing him is more than promising succession plan than hoping to break lock of bad habits formed in a bad situation in Denver. Zappe, a former fourth-round pick out of Western Kentucky, played 4 games total last year, 2 starts with that 2-0 record. And right now he's competing for the starting quarterback job in New England alongside Mac Jones. And according to reports, Mac Jones is well on his way to be the starter, but Bailey Zappe at least going to be considered to be probably one of the better backups in the league. What did Bailey Zappe do last year? Well, completion percentage was really good, close to 71%, 781 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. So then from that point, what was the trade idea Bleacher Report came up with? Well, the former 4th-round pick, they have the Seahawks giving up a 2024 3rd-round pick in order to bring him in. Now, here's the part where I say, hold the phone. Slow the brakes here for a second, folks. I like Bailey Zappe. I do. I was impressed with what he did and how he stepped up filling in for Mac Jones last year. No issues with Bailey Zappe. Let me make that clear. But with where the Seahawks are at, building for their future from 2023 and beyond, I'm not trying to give up day 2 picks for Bailey Zappe right now, okay? If the Seahawks are trying to make moves for a young quarterback, it's a first-round franchise-caliber quarterback that you're investing in after you're done with Geno Smith. You're not giving up that for a backup quarterback. No offense, but Bailey Zappe's future is not to be the Seahawks starting quarterback. The game plan, we all believe, is that Geno holds on to this job until they go to the young franchise quarterback. Bailey Zappe's not going to be that young franchise quarterback for anybody. I'm not giving up day 2 picks. Too valuable. No thanks as far as I'm concerned. Should the Seahawks trade for Bailey Zappe? What do you think? Tell us in the comment section. Type T for trade, P for pass. Should Seattle make this move or not? Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comment section below. Folks, we have new merch here on Seahawks Today. It is our sideline hats, and they come in all different varieties. My personal favorite is the throwback to the AFC days. We also have the ball cap of the current logo and the flat bill. These are just some of the many options that we have. And all of them are on sale now at chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. And these hats, folks, we talked about the watch party coming up next week. When you're watching your Seahawks play and you see the coaches and players and staff on the sidelines, they are going to be wearing these hats. And you can get a hat, one of these, before the season begins. So what are you waiting for? Go ahead and get one of these Seahawks hats now while supplies last. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. Just in time for football season as well. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats to get yours today while supplies last. Got an update out of training camp in regards to defensive lineman Myles Adams. Is he about to take on an expanded role within the Seahawks defense. We've heard with this Seahawks team that they're looking at Jordyn Reed at that nose tackle spot. Myles Adams, of course, is one of the possibilities, and the Seahawks just have uncertainty. It's not a clear answer of what they'll do necessarily at that position. What about Myles Adams and his role in the defense? Here's what he had to say this week. First step is definitely my best attribute. I think my knowledge of the game slowed down a lot this year. I saw it last season as well, learning the key reads and everything like that. I think I need to make sure I get consistency and technique and just overall communication. Well, we were on. And when we were off, we were definitely off, and you can see that on film and from these statistics. I would say that it was more so discipline in our run gaps because it takes all 11 players, and we got to make sure we have consistency and execution. So you can see Myles Adams on his role. He's looking for more consistency is the big thing. Now, here's the thing. Did you know in 6 games where Myles Adams logged at least 20 snaps last season, the Seahawks gave up about 124 rushing yards per game. That was 18th among 32 teams in the NFL last year. The bottom line is this. If Myles Adams displays an ability to stop the run, if he can show that he can make an impact in the run defense and slow down the rushing attack of their opponents, he will see significant playing time and play a big role. And throughout training camp, throughout the preseason, he's going to have opportunities to prove himself and see if he can have that expanded role or not. But that's what it comes down to. Can he be a run stopper? If he can, Myles Adams can be on the field as much as he wants to be. Pretty simple as that. Will Myles Adams step up on defense this year? Buy or sell? Let's play buy or sell here on Seahawks Today. Chime in, tell us what you think. If you believe in Myles Adams stepping up on defense, type B for buy. If not, type S for sell. Chime in, tell us what you think in the comment section. B for buy, S for sell. Weigh in and let us know what you think. Hit us up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and more at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there, and I'll see you next time right here on Seahawks Today. All right, so that is one segment down and 3 more segments to go here on the channel. And we'll go back to what we asked you about Jonathan Taylor. Should the Seahawks make a trade for Jonathan Taylor? I'm checking the comments here, and the club says no, he's going to the Chiefs. Scott says no. Dustin says if the price is right. Sydney and Tom say no. Sydney says we got depth at running back. Tom says Kenny. The club and Steve John and Bo Harvey says no. The club says absolutely not. Sydney says no. And so far of the poll question, 86 votes so far. 60% of you say no. 40% say yes. So Trace, the consensus, everybody, I don't feel like it took very much convincing on my part to give that a no as far as Jonathan Taylor goes. And this is not a knock on Jonathan Taylor at all, but this is not what the Seahawks are looking for.
Yeah, and sometimes the best move a team can make is the move you don't make. So I think that, like you said, you bring up a good point. Don't go sell the farm to go get a running back that you know is good, but you don't know exactly what you have with the players you have on your roster. They're talented. They got a lot of punch, if you will. So I think that the Seahawks should avoid going and trading for JT.
Yeah, and that seems to be the consensus. I see Sydney says no, Bo says no, Seatown fans says no as well. Coming up next is our mailbag segment. Use hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag, and a Super Chat gets you to the front line. Your questions will get asked first in this mailbag segment. Trace, I know we can use some more questions, so whatever you guys got. In particular, I want to talk some trade stuff. If you got any trade ideas, send those in, and we'll react to them in our Trade Rumors mailbag. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag segment. Speaking of Super Chats, here's our Super Chat menu today. Any Super Chat equals a shout-out. $5, we'll sing the DK song. $7, we'll do a Geno shot. $20, we'll do a little beer chug. $50, we'll do a beer shotgun. And we've already been chugging some beer today. We celebrated our boy Pablo's birthday. Happy birthday to him. And we got a little update on the Super Chat battle. We were just on the heels of the Niners. Now they are starting to pull away.
We gotta make up some ground, guys. The 12s, I know one thing. They hate the 49ers. So let's pack a punch here. Let's go catch the Niner game.
Right? We need to act like we're in midseason form.
Facts.
And win this Super Chat battle. Not only do we want to beat the Niners on the football field, but we would love to beat them in a Super Chat battle today. So there's where we're at. We're playing from behind. There's work to be done, but no need to fear. The 12s are here. Also got the boot as an option as well. And you know what? I'm willing to make a deal. So right now, if we get to $200, that would give us the lead in the Super Chat battle, beating the Steelers too. We get to 200, I'll take down a boot today. I'm feeling very generous. $200 collectively. And maybe you guys can negotiate with each other in the chat. If we get to $200, I'm taking down the boot. $100, you can have a spot in the Boot Hall of Fame. So that is what we're offering here. Mailbag time, hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat to get on the mailbag. I see questions coming in from Tom. Bo also got a question. Let's see. McKay, what is that pronounced? Craig, I've got a question in. Good job, everybody. Malachi, thank you. Let's see. And then there's some others as well. So if you think of more questions as we're going along, like C-Town fan, I see you with a question there, but I need you to use the hashtag Seahawks to get on the show. So if you think of anything as we're going along, use that hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat, and we'll get that included in the mailbags. You got trade ideas in particular as well. I want to hear those. And also, like Tyler said, if you send a Super Chat, you get to skip the line, and we show a little extra love to you. Right. So there you have it. Let's get after it. Our first of two mailbag segments today. We'll bring you our bold predictions segment coming up later. But right now, let's answer your questions in this mailbag edition of Seahawks Today. It's Seahawks Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for joining us. And it's mailbag time. We do these mailbags on our Wednesday live shows at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific, where people send us questions. We react to them in real time. So, 12s, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That way you, too, can make sure and join us for our next live show. That way you can get your questions on the show, and we'll answer them. Hashtag Seahawks or Super Chat. Let's go ahead and get started right away. Pablo with a $35 Super Chat. Pablo says, Tyler Jones, my birthday is coming up soon. Jaxon Smith-Njigba is very good. First off, Pablo, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pablo. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Pablo, I hope you're having a great birthday, man. JSN is very good. I love Jaxon Smith-Njigba. I think he has potential to be a star in this league. Everything we've heard out of training camp so far to this point has been that he's looked the part, that he is going to be explosive, that he's going to be a huge part of this Seattle Seahawks team going forward. So I'm all in on Jaxon Smith-Njigba. Pablo, I hope you're all in on him too, and hope you have a great birthday, my friend. JSN isn't going to let you down this season. The Chosen One writes in, hashtag Seahawks, do you think Lockett will be in the Hall of Fame? Okay, folks, don't get mad at me here, but you always ask for my honest opinions. And if we're going to be real with y'all, Tyler Lockett right now would not be a Hall of Famer at the moment. He would be in the Seahawks Hall of Fame, but he wouldn't be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Tyler Lockett would have to get to a few more Pro Bowls, might need to get a Super Bowl ring. Tyler Lockett would not be a Hall of Famer at this point in time. Could that change? It could, potentially. He's put up really good numbers, but he hasn't been one of the elite receivers in the league. So would I love to see Tyler Lockett get recognized and get some love by the end of his career? Of course. But right now, he's not on pace to be a Pro Football Hall of Famer, but he would be in the ring honor there, at least for now. So, Chosen One, I like Tyler Lockett, but he's not there at the moment. That could change, though. We'll see. Malachi Craig, do you think Seattle could use D in the backfield the same way San Fran does with Debo? What is your opinion on that? Referred to D. Eskridge, of course. The idea of him in the backfield of sorts, you know, I would think, and the Seahawks are very creative offensively, right? From what we've seen in the past with what Shane Waldron does with that offense and how explosive they've become, I would think that if they wanted to do that, they probably would have already done so by now with D. Eskridge. I would not be opposed to trying out that possibility and seeing what the Seahawks could put together and if D. Eskridge could be effective doing that. But I don't know if that's in the cards because the Seahawks, I'm sure, have had discussions about that, but we've never seen it come to fruition. So I'm not counting on it. We'll put it that way. Legion of Boom writes, would you rather trade for Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor? That's a good question, Legion of Boom. Both guys could be gone from their teams within the next few weeks. Jonathan Taylor's got 1 year left on his contract. Josh Jacobs has got the franchise tag, of course. And they're in the same boat when it comes contract situation-wise of they want to get paid, but the running back market is just not being very kind right now to running backs at this point. So with that said, I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor. He's younger. I think he's a little more talented. I loved what he did at Wisconsin. He's a good pass catcher. Jonathan Taylor does it all well. I think he's slightly better than Josh Jacobs. I would go with Jonathan Taylor, but I don't think that you would go wrong with either guy. I'll preface all that and say, though, even though I'd rather have Jonathan Taylor than Josh Jacobs, as the Seattle Seahawks, you don't need a running back right now. I know that Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet got banged up, but you got Kenny McIntosh, DJ Dallas, other guys. That's why you've invested in that running back position to have depth. I wouldn't take either one because of the cost it would take. Pick a running back. Which one would you rather have? Josh Jacobs or Jonathan Taylor? Type J for Josh Jacobs. Type T for Jonathan Taylor. Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comments section. Either player you would like to see the Seahawks sign. Bo writes, will Geno be a one-hit wonder? That's kind of the million-dollar question I think a lot of folks want to know with Geno Smith. Was 2022 a fluke of sorts? Or is this here to stay? And I got to tell you, I think what we saw from Geno Smith last year was a step in the right direction. And here's why I don't think it's a one-hit wonder for Geno Smith. Okay, let me tell you why that is. When you got to this offseason, and when it came into putting in the work of being a top-level quarterback in this league, of the workouts, the OTAs, the film study and all that, all reports from the media and players and coaches were that Geno was doing what he needed to do to play at that level, that he was taking the extra step, that he was going the extra mile. So, no, I don't think Geno's going to be a one-hit wonder because it wasn't fluky to begin with, because he's doing the work that it takes to play at that high level. I think you're going to be impressed. Geno's going to be even better this year. Matthew writes in, we need Jake Bobo out there somewhere he could land. I think Jake Bobo is going to end up in the practice squad, which, isn't a terrible thing. The main thing is to have Jake Bobo around. I know people have thrown out the idea of him playing tight end potentially and all that, but Jake Bobo is slow. He's got good hands. He's a good receiver. But the Seahawks have a lot of depth at that wide receiver position. I like him. I think you're going to find him on the practice squad, and he might get his chance to play later on in the season, but I'd be surprised if he makes the 53-man. We'll see. Sydney writes in, Kenny McIntosh definitely be running back number 2 over Zach Charbonnet. Based on what? I mean, I know that Kenny McIntosh has looked good and has played well throughout camp to this point. I understand that side of things. But Zach Charbonnet used second-round pick on. And Zach Charbonnet was the better back by all indications. Now, Kenny McIntosh is a pretty decent receiver, sure, but there's nothing you can point to that says, other than just the fact that Zach Charbonnet is injured right now and Kenny McIntosh isn't, of why Kenny McIntosh would be running back number 2. So, no, I don't think if everyone's healthy, Kenny McIntosh is the number 2 running back. Could that change? Maybe down the road, but don't lose hope. Don't lose faith on Zach Charbonnet just yet. Folks, we got a great deal that we're offering right now. Seahawks hats are on sale. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. These are the brand new sideline hats that you're going to be seeing Seahawks players, staff, personnel wearing on the sidelines, and they come in all different forms, different shapes and sizes. We have the bowl cap style, we have the flat bill, and we have the throwback to the AFC days. We know the Seahawks are going to wear the throwback jerseys and everything. A lot of different options. These are just some of them. There's plenty more available at chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. And you can get these hats before the season begins as well. So what are you waiting for? Get yours now. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats to get yours today. Any of them, they're on sale now. You can get yours. Chatsports.com/Seahawks hats. Mr. Hall writes in, is it too late to trade for Chase Young? Mr. Hall, I don't think it is too late to trade for Chase Young. And the reason why is that as we sit here at the time of this recording on Wednesday, Chase Young still doesn't have an extension. He still doesn't have a deal of some sorts. And until there is a deal for Chase Young in place, then he's going to be on the trade market. Then he is an option potentially. So I think that's what you're looking at for the Seahawks, that if you want Chase Young, you can still get him. The window doesn't close until he gets a contract extension. And who knows, he might not even get that contract extension from the Commanders when it's all said and done. So no, it is not too late to make a move for Chase Young. In fact, I would love to see them make a move for Chase Young as far as I'm concerned. Would you trade for Chase Young? Y for yes, in for no. Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comments section. If you would make a move for Chase Young or not. What do you think? Y for yes, in for no. The Wizard writes, why trade for a back when Dalvin Cook is a free agent? The Wizard, very good point. I'm not interested in trading for any running backs. I am not. I think I've made that point very clear. And Dalvin Cook, man, if let's just say for all intents and purposes, let's say that things aren't good with Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. Charbonnet's out indefinitely right now. Kenneth Walker, of course, is week to week at this point. Let's just say things don't look good for either guy. Then go pay Dalvin Cook, and he could be your starting running back if those guys aren't going to be ready in time for the season begins, if that was the case. I agree. I wanted to sign Dalvin Cook if everything's okay. If it turns out that Kenneth Walker or Zach Charbonnet is going to come back soon, then I'm not worrying about, spending the money on Dalvin Cook. But if things don't bode well for those guys and they aren't back, then yeah, maybe you do go ahead and sign Dalvin Cook then. Last one, Hunter's crack. We'll leave it at that. That's there. Will the Seahawks win 12 games and snag the NFC West? Hunter, where's Hunter? Will the Seahawks win 12 games? I think they're going to be about an 11-win team. Can they snag the division? It is going to be awfully close. I would not bet on the Seahawks at the moment to win the division, but I'm not ruling out the possibility. I would give the Seahawks, I would say they're about an 11-win team right now, and I'd give them about a 40% chance to win the division. It would be them or San Francisco. San Francisco is going to be tough to get past, but it's going to be competitive, come right down to the very end. What will be the Seahawks record this season? Chime in, tell us what you think in the comments section. We'll see you next time here on Seahawks Today. All right. I need to get the fan on. Getting a little warm in here. But nonetheless, Trace, halfway home.
We are.
We're going to have an update on training camp here in just a second. But, guys, what will the Seahawks record be? Let's check the chat, what the predictions are. Oh, I get it. I saw 11-6 a moment ago from Dadi. What else? What are some other predictions that we have? 11-6. What else? My prediction, well, that would mean that there's a tie in there because they play 17 regular season games now. I said, well, actually, no. I'm bad at math. 11-6 is possible. Yes, 10-7. There's 17 regular season games. 11-6. I can't do math. I got the Seahawks as an 11-win team. Hennick has them as an 11-win team as well. What are the other predictions? What does everybody else think the Seahawks are going to do this year? Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comments section. What your prediction is for the schedule. How many wins? Dady says 11. Seatown fan, I don't know if you're trying to make something sexual there with that comment. I did the Seahawks. I don't know what that means. Let's see. The Wizard says 17-0. The Wizard, if the Seahawks go 17-0, I'll go streaking in downtown Seattle. Yeah. I'll go streaking in the river market or something, if they go 17-0.
Honestly, I'll join them.
Trace and I will go streaking.
It'll be wild.
If the Seahawks go undefeated, go 17-0. Day says, brah. I know. That's on me. Bad one on me. I understand. Steve John says 12-5. Greg says 12-5. That'd be nice if they go 12-5. We'll see. Coming up, Trace, we're going to do our first ever bold prediction segment.
This is a fun one. This is going to be a fun one. I already know it.
I want some hot, bold takes on your Seattle Seahawks. Make them spicy. Use hashtag bold to get on our bold prediction segment. That we'll do later. Trace, a little tease for later. What would be your bold prediction for Seattle?
Bold prediction. JSN wins Offensive Rookie of the Year over Bijan Robinson.
Ooh.
Hot take.
And here's the thing. JSN very well might be the most talented rookie this year.
Yep.
But when you're having to share receptions with Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf, and then you got quarterbacks going for the award and running backs like Bijan, competition's going to be tough. Let's see. Seatown fan says, I thought you answered questions with Seahawks.
We did.
We did that earlier. Hennick.
If we didn't get you in the mailbag, like there's so many questions coming in, we can't get to every single one of them. That's why you have to super chat.
Yeah, Hennick said, "Why did you skip the question?" We only have so much time for so many questions. The super chat is the only way you can guarantee getting on the show. So use hashtag bold for your bold prediction, or super chat. The super chat is the only way we can guarantee to have you on the show. Speaking of the Super Chat menu, this is what we're offering today. We got some work to do. We're a little bit behind in the Super Chat battle today. $35 coming in. $50 will do a beer shotgun. $20 to do a beer chug. $7 to do a Geno shot. $5 to do the DK song. Any Super Chat equals a shout-out.
Yep.
So that is what we are offering here on today's show.
Give you guys a quick update as well on the Super Chat battle. We got some work to do.
Go ahead while I fix my hair here.
You're good. We got some work to do here. So I need Seahawks fans. I need the 12s to get going. Let's get this thing moving. Let's catch up to the Niners report. Chase Senior, great guy, but it's F the Niners.
Right?
F the Niners.
And I already made an offer. If we get 200, we're doing a boot today. Trace,
we're about a quarter of the way there. A little under.
We got the 35 from Pablo. Michael Crowhorse Chavez, you got to use the hashtag in there. I see the word bold. You got to use hashtag bold to get your bold prediction.
Make sure you do hashtag bold and then at worst 12-5. So because if you just do hashtag bold, we won't get it. So make sure you put both of them in there.
Right. So, Trace, that's what I'm offering. $200, I'll do a boot today.
I'm about that action.
What are you thinking? What kind of offer you think you have there for the folks?
If we can get to 100, I'll do a beer bong.
A beer bong?
A beer bong.
For $100. I know we always have Seahawks fans asking us, like, can you get a bong involved?
That's the way we can get it involved.
That's how we can get
hit the bong.
A beer bong. We get to $100. So about $65, and we can get out a beer bong for the 12s out there. Yeah. So, like I'm seeing Charlie the Unicorn, Michael, Tom, Hennick was wanting to comment on the show. Super chat. That's the only way we can guarantee
Hennick, if you use hashtag bold and give us a take, maybe we can get you on.
Right?
Or if you super chat, we definitely can get you on.
Right? So that's how it works. Simple as that. Up next, training camp. There's nothing mini about training camp. We'll take you inside Seahawks camp. As I take a little drink there. Inside Seahawks training camp with, by the way, can we put that L3 with the weigh-in at the same time to open the show? Okay, cool. Yep, straight into that. We'll get you the latest winners and losers from training camp. Break that down for you coming up in just a bit. All right, I'm seeing some bold takes coming in. That's good. You guys are figuring it out. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. An inside look at training camp with winners and losers right now here on Seahawks Today. Was Geno Smith's 2022 season a fluke? On today's show, I'm going to tell you why it wasn't. I expect a huge year from Geno Smith as we take you inside training camp with our winners and losers from camp. But first, you tell us, was it a fluke or not? HY for hell yes, HN for hell no, and let me know. Geno Smith, a winner for training camp. And I got to tell you, as we've said many times on this show over the last few months, the reports from Geno Smith of what he has been able to do have all been positive. That it's not just been that he looks the part on the field, but he was putting in the work off the field. And that's continued through camp so far. Michael Sean Duggar of The Athletic had a couple different tweets that we'll show you here from Geno Smith's performances over the last couple days. Geno just hit Tyler Lockett that is, for a long touchdown against the first-team defense. Tyler got open in the deep middle. Then also said Geno got brought some time and hit Colby Parkinson wide open for a catch and run. Touchdown of at least 50 yards. Touchdowns all day, he rules, right? This has been the best offseason of Geno's career. And I believe that he is putting in the work to be elite this season. I know we've sat here for a couple of months now and discussed what would Geno Smith's season look like in 2023. And I think the hope is that you get Geno what you did last year. If he played like he did last year, that'd be fine. But based on what I've seen and what we're hearing how things are going at training camp, I think that he's doing enough to take that next step to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league this year. That he's doing what it takes to take that next step to be in that upper echelon, and you're going to be talking about Geno Smith there. Not just good, but potential to be great. So, what do you think? Will Geno Smith, was the season last year a fluke? I've made the case. I don't think it was, because of what I've seen him do this offseason to show that he's not going anywhere. Weigh in, tell us what you think. HY for hell yes, HN for hell no. If you think last year was a fluke or not, weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Other training camp winners, Kenny McIntosh. Unique circumstances for the Seahawks with losing Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet to injury. And that created an opportunity for day 3 selection Kenny McIntosh, the running back out of Georgia, to step up. And he's been getting first-team reps. More from Corbin Smith of SI All Seahawks. McIntosh continued to put everyone on notice during Monday's practice. During individual drills, he demonstrated excellent contact balance running through the gauntlet and exhibited top-notch technique, hand placement, and pop in pass protection. You know, sometimes it's all about just getting an opportunity, right? And when you look at Kenny McIntosh, he's taking advantage of this opportunity that's been given to him. None of us could have anticipated that this early in camp, the Seahawks would be without their 2 top young running backs. Sure, we've talked a lot about over the last couple of years of the injuries the running backs have dealt with at that position for Seattle. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we didn't expect that this chance would present itself as early as it did for Kenny McIntosh. And he's taken advantage of it. Next man up mentality. Kudos to Kenny McIntosh for being ready to answer the call. We're going to turn to another rookie on our list of training camp winners, and that is Jaxon Smith-Njigba, the wide receiver out of the Ohio State, who I think many of us expected to step right in and be the number 3 receiver, but he might be able to do just even more than that. Here's more from Tim Weaver of Seahawks Wire. JSN has impressed throughout the offseason, and now that training camp has arrived, he's emerged as the single most promising playmaker on the field. No other playmaker has been getting more praise from writers, coaches, and teammates. Look, JSN has the chance. You talk about not only him being the most impressive playmaker that we've seen this offseason, but I look at JSN as a guy that can take this offense from good to great. That he alone, he himself, can be that difference maker of taking a huge step up as far as I'm concerned. That JSN is going to be capable of doing just that. Because you look at Geno, you see the other receivers there. We know about the running back position. The Seahawks want to establish the run. JSN, I think, has got that chance to take this team to the next step where they want to go with his impact and be able to do this for a long time. That's what we're looking at. That's how big of a deal it was, this draft pick for Jaxon Smith-Njigba here. Name a winner from training camp for your Seattle Seahawks. There's several names to choose from. Who comes to mind? Chime in. Tell us in the comment section who a winner from training camp is. Folks, it is time to bet once again. Our friends at BetUS are back and better than ever. You can bet on preseason football involving your Seattle Seahawks. Also, we got wagers going on Major League Baseball. Maybe you want to bet on the Mariners. Maybe you want to bet on some motorsports, some golf, whatever it may be. We have all those options available to you at chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Seahawks125 for a 125% deposit bonus. So how this works, you put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. It's like getting a pizza and then you get an extra pizza and a slice. It's a great deal that we're offering just for Seahawks fans. So if you want to get your bets in, BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports, is the place to do it. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125 for that 125% deposit bonus. Next on our list, we find Mike Jackson at the corner position. And it's well known that Pete Carroll said throughout this offseason that he was the MVP of offseason activities. But that has carried over. That has continued on to training camp. Here's more from Mike Jackson himself on camp, saying this: it just feels good. Like, okay, I accomplished something. I came, I got work in. I envisioned me making plays. A year later, it actually happened. That was kind of my way not to get too down and just to be even killed. What stands out about Mike Jackson right now, what we've seen on film, for those that haven't been able to see, is this, folks. He's been able to show this ability to break on dig routes from top wide receivers. It's been pretty impressive to see what he's been able to do to make those breaks, those cuts, what he's able to do on DK, on Tyler Lockett, on these guys. He's showing his worth in those opportunities. And you look at the cornerback room, remember, there was a lot of attention just about a week ago on Devin Witherspoon with this holdout and competing for a starting spot with Mike Jackson and everything here, with Tariq Woolen on the other side. Look, at the end of the day, if Mike Jackson and Devin Witherspoon are both good, then they'll both get playing time, and they'll both play a significant role in this defense. They'll figure it out. Seahawks have a good problem on their hands here. Last winner from training camp is Dre'Mont Jones. Huge signing for the Seahawks, one of the biggest that they had. The first signing that they actually had of free agency was bringing Jones over from the Denver Broncos. And for Dre'Mont Jones, what he has to do, it's pretty simple what his biggest duty is ahead. Here's more from Corbin Smith of SIL Seahawks on Dre'Mont Jones. Blowing up Dallas, that's DJ Dallas, with immediate penetration on just the second play from scrimmage during team drills for a 1-yard loss, blowing through the A-gap with a quick first step. He started off the red zone period with a bang, too, collapsing down on Smith and generating a quick whistle. Here's what I'm talking about, folks. So you heard that whole description, right, of him just, bam, delivering a blow to the running back position. Jones' number one job this season is to help improve the run defense, to do exactly what you just heard he was doing in camp. That's a good sign. Think about this. Remember, the Seahawks defense, the run defense was 30th in the league last year. And he's already showing that he is going to help take this defense to the next level of the run defense. So he's already working on that number one job, and he's taking a step in the right direction. So I like what I'm seeing there from Dre'Mont Jones as far as that goes. What do you think of that signing of Dre'Mont Jones? I loved it personally. What say you? Chime in. Grade the signing in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of the move by the Seahawks to bring in Dre'Mont Jones? Training camp losers now, and this one, let me just say, we got a couple injured guys on the losers list, but we're not making fun of them for being hurt by any means. Don't take this the wrong way, but Zach Charbonnet has to be on this losers list. Here's more from Lee Val, 12th Man Rising. Charbonnet is now missing practices and missing valuable reps for a rookie with a banged-up shoulder. Pete Carroll could give no timeline on Charbonnet's return and didn't really go into detail on what the actual issue was with the running back shoulder. Now, here's the thing for me. The big reason why he ends up on the losers list here for this. Let me explain. The scary part here is not just him missing time and not being at practice and competing for playing time and all that, but the shoulder issue. We've seen, traditionally speaking, that shoulder injuries can become a long-term issue, that these things can linger on and might not go away. That's what I'm afraid of here with Zach Charbonnet, that this could linger on for a bit. It might be a while before we see him on the football field or a while before we see him at full speed. So that's where I'm concerned with why he's on the loser list. It's not just that he's not out there, not competing, but a shoulder injury. That's not the news I wanted to hear when we found out he was out indefinitely. Rate your level of concern for Zach Charbonnet. Where is it right now with that shoulder injury? Scale it for me 1 through 10 in the comments section what your level of concern is. Jamal Adams also makes this list, and for Jamal Adams, it's not just the fact that he hasn't recovered, that he's not fully out there yet, but also the opportunity that his potential replacement is taking advantage of. Listen to this. Brady Henderson, ESPN. Julian Love, another player the Seahawks brought in this offseason, working with the number one defense at strong safety with Jamal Adams still sidelined. Came away with an interception when Geno Smith pass over the middle went through DK Metcalf's hands. Otherwise, a good day for the offense. Geno and DK connected on the final play. And there was more reports out there that Julian Love looked really good. We still don't know when Jamal is coming back. And Julian Love looks like he is exactly what the Seahawks need. Okay? If Julian Love looks the part and if he steps up and he plays well, then you start to wonder, what do you do with Jamal Adams at this point? You know, is it time to try to get a draft pick for him, trade him, or cut him, whatever it may be? Then his future really becomes in question if it turns out you just don't need him if Julian Love fills that void. Last on the losers list, another guy that's not out there, and that's Jordyn Brooks. And think about this. We've talked a lot about Devin Bush and the opportunity for Devin Bush, who the Seahawks signed from the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? And he's going to step in and fill that role. But don't forget about Vi Jones either. There's more from Brady Henderson. One other personal note, Devin Bush also didn't practice today, but Vi Jones got number one reps at inside linebacker next to Bobby Wagner. Jones has also played outside linebacker since joining the team as UDFA last year, but they're playing him inside now. Starter Jordyn Brooks still on PUP. And Vi Jones looked pretty solid what he was able to do in practices. So if Brooks can't get on the field and guys like Vi Jones are stepping up, not just Devin Bush, but Vi Jones, then I'm not going to be sold on the extension for Jordyn Brooks. Remember, Jordyn Brooks is in a contract year, okay? It's not just about getting healthy and getting back on the football field, but it's proving that he's worth keeping long-term for the Seahawks, that they should pay him. If these other guys are going to step up, Oh, yeah, UDFA like Vi Jones. That doesn't bode well for Jordyn Brooks. So, now your chance to weigh in. Name a loser from Seahawks Training Camp. We mentioned a few losers out there. We mentioned some winners as well. Name a loser for me. Who stands out in the comments section? Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Threads as well. At Tyler Jones Live, you can find me there. I'll see you next time, right here on Seahawks Today. Christopher, I see your $20 super chat. We will get to that coming up in our bold prediction segment up next. We'll throw that up on screen. Name a winner from Seahawks Training Camp. Who comes to mind here? I see D-Day says, I believe in Kenny McIntosh. James says, Geno working to get us a championship this year. Tell us who you guys think is a winner. Christopher, $20 super chat. I owe you a beer chug. So I'm going to open up another beer, and I'm going to chug. Bold prediction from Christopher says 17-0 and win the Super Bowl. That's a bold prediction.
That's bold. That's definitely going in the show.
Christopher, cheers to you and the 17-0 Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. All right. So Trace has got to go to the bathroom. While Trace is gone, every $5 super chat that comes in, we are going to take a shot from now until when Trace gets back. So we got a little shot sale. I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock. Trace going to take a little whiz. Every $5 that comes in, we're taking a shot. So this is punishment for Trace leaving the show to go use the bathroom. That's unacceptable. Trace can't make it through the show without using the bathroom. We cannot let him get away with this. So when he gets back, every $5 super chat that comes in, we are taking a shot. I got the fireball in hand. We're not messing around. I want Trace to have to drink. And just to get the shots going, I'm going to go ahead and take one myself. So Christopher, Steve, Robert, James, and your $5 super chat gets you to the front of the line for our bold prediction segment as well. That will bring you here. $5, every $5, we will make Trace take a shot and punish him for leaving and using the bathroom. Here's a shot for the 12s. All right. So let's see. Who's going to be up next? Sending in those $5 super chats. Let's make Trace drink. I mean, it could be $25 super chats as far as I'm concerned. Could be 5, could be 1 or 2, doesn't matter. We're going to make Trace drink all of them when he returns. About a minute gone by. Let's see. That's the offer. That's as it stands. Let me put it in the chat right now. All right. Christopher's sending one. That's one. So we got one on the board for Trace. Who wants to keep this going? This is what Trace gets for leaving us to go use the restroom. We're supposed to take care of our business before the show starts. Trace, you got one. Christopher.
Thanks, Chris.
Christopher said that he didn't want you to get away with leaving to go use the bathroom during the show. No.
Hey, Chris, I respect it, man. I really do. I really do.
You know what? I'll take it too. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. To Christopher Bryson. Shots, shots, shots.
Oh, that's the good stuff.
That fireball.
Woo!
Straight from hell.
Yep, that is the devil's liquor,
The devil's liquor.
as they say.
Is that what they say?
Somebody does. Somebody's got to say it somewhere.
Coming up next, it's our bold prediction segment. Use hashtag bold to get your bold predictions on the show. And Christopher, your bold prediction, we will get up there first. That will lead the show. But if you have any bold predictions, use that hashtag bold, or you can super chat, and your super chat will get you to the front of the line. We got a lot of bold predictions? Oh, hell yeah. I love it. By the way, we're now at $60 in super chats. Let's show where we're at in the competition, in the battle. Tom says Trace sighting. That's right. Trace is back from the bathroom. Here is the super chat battle where things stand right now. We're making progress.
We are, and I can report this right now. The Niners report and Steelers talk are done, so we can catch them. They're not getting any more than this. We can catch them.
So this is where they ended today.
Yep.
And the offer still stands.
Go get them.
$200. I'm doing a boot, and that secures victory.
Yep.
So that's the deal out there. Christopher.
Let's catch them. Got to catch them all.
Tyson, Bo, Tom. I know Jaime was here earlier. Dustin. Who is going to be the one to secure victory here on Seahawks Today? We get to 200. 140 away. Then we're doing a boot, and we're claiming victory over the 49ers and the Steelers today. And you offered a beer bong if we got to 100?
I did. 40 away.
So that's 40 away.
And the best part about it is I'll put it down in 3 seconds or less.
Right.
It will go down quick.
So Christopher's at $25. He's 75 away from the Boot Hall of Fame. And then early on in the show, Pablo, for his birthday, sent in the 30. So he is about 70 away from the Boot Hall of Fame as well. So maybe we'll induct some Boot Hall of Fame members later today. Bold prediction time. Let's go ahead and get after it with some bold predictions. If you think of some while we're going along, go ahead and send it our way as we continue here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Trace, we all set? All right, let's get after it. New segment here on Seahawks Today, bold predictions. We asked our viewers of Seahawks Today to send us their biggest bold predictions for your Seattle Seahawks in 2023, and these were the results. Starting with Christopher Bryson, who sent in a $20 super chat. Bold prediction, 17-0, win the Super Bowl. I like the optimism there from Christopher. I'll say this, Christopher. Myself and Trace Gerard have agreed, and this is on record, this is on tape, it's going on YouTube, going to be on the internet forever, so there's no backing down now. If the Seahawks go 17-0 and win the Super Bowl, we're going streaking. Seattle is going to see a sight they've never seen before that might actually be more amazing than a 17-0 Super Bowl victory, is seeing us not naked, but naked. That would be quite the sight to behold. So, Christopher, I love the optimism. Let's see it. Love the bold prediction. Don't think that's happening, but if it does, I'm a man of my word, and I'll start to take the clothes off, you know. This is a little tease, what we call in the biz, right there. There you go. All right, Dady, what do you got for me? Boye Mafe has 10-plus sacks, says Day. You know, I think that actually could happen. Let me explain. Darrell Taylor had 9.5 sacks playing the same position. It is an open competition between several players, Derek Hall, Boye Mafe, Darrell Taylor, and others, to compete for that starting outside linebacker spot on the other side of Uchenna and Nwosu. And I've been reading, and there is a belief of sorts, that if Darrell Taylor can get 9.5 sacks, why can't Boye Mafe? Why can't Derek Hall potentially get more than that? I mean, let's be real with y'all. Darrell Taylor was really good at getting to the quarterback. Everything else, not so much. Boye Mafe and Derek Hall might be better than him already, potentially. So if he can get 9.5, maybe Boye can get 10+. That could happen. Wouldn't surprise me, actually. All right, here's a bold prediction from Charlie the Unicorn. Kenny the McIntosh with the most yards from scrimmage of any Seahawks player in 2023. That's a bold prediction. And I'll say this. If you would have told me this before the injuries to Kenneth Walker and to Zach Charbonnet, then I would have said, wow, you're out of your mind. I think it would be a stretch if this still happens. I mean, the Seahawks offense is talented, okay? We're talking from scrimmage. So more than Tyler Lockett, than DK Metcalf, Jaxon Smith-Njigba, and all those running backs too. I would be surprised. Charlie, Kenny McIntosh, I think, is going to be a good pick and good player for the Seahawks, but that one might be a reach. Geno Truther writes in, bold prediction, Geno will win MVP. Okay. Geno is MVP. So let's look at this. If you're going to be an MVP candidate, you have to do two things. Number one, you have to have a fantastic season and be better than everybody else. And number two, your team has got to be in contention to an extent. I think the Seahawks could be a contending team. I don't know if Geno can be as good as the Mahomes, Joe Burrows, Josh Allens of the world. He very well might end up being the best quarterback in the NFC this year. But those guys at the AFC, it's a whole nother level. It's a tall task to be MVP. Lots got to go right. I don't necessarily think he's going to win MVP. But, I mean, hell, a couple of years ago, Alex Smith, who Geno gets compared to all the time, finished second to Tom Brady in MVP voting. So maybe he can finish in that top three, but I'd be very surprised if he won it. But I like the optimism. MVP! MVP! Do you think Geno Smith can win the MVP of the NFL this season? If you do, type win, type W for win. If you don't, type N for nah. Tell us what you think in the comment section. W for win, N for nah. Day D writes, Jamal Adams wins Comeback Player of the Year. This is a pretty good, bold prediction, I think. First off, Jamal Adams has got to get back on the football field first. That's step numero uno for Jamal Adams, is just getting on the field before anything else. If he gets on the football field, Jamal Adams is going to have a strong case to be Comeback Player of the Year. We saw what Geno did last year, winning that award. Jamal Adams, with all that time he missed last year, we know he can play at an all-pro level. Jamal Adams, this one might be the most likely bold prediction we've seen so far through this show. But the other part about this, kind of like we talked about the MVP thing, is that's an award that typically goes to offensive players. Going to be tough to compete with those offensive guys for that award. BetUS, our exclusive sportsbook partner here at Chat Sports, is back and better than ever, and they are taking your bets for your chances to win lots of money. Get rich, kids. Chatsports.com/bet is where you can place your bets on your Seattle Seahawks, all the preseason action. You can also bet on WNBA games. You can get your futures on college football and the NFL. You can bet on MLB, your Seattle Mariners, maybe it's some motorsports, golf, whatever it is. At chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125. And here's how it works. The 125% deposit bonus you get, you put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free. It's a great deal. Get yours now, chatsports.com/bet, promo code Seahawks125 at checkout. Get your bets in today, and you'll be glad you did. Matthew writes in a bold prediction. Seahawks will have both Offensive Rookie of the Year and Defensive Rookie of the Year in Jaxon Smith-Njigba and in Devin Witherspoon. I think Witherspoon's got a more likely chance to do it because JSN has to not only compete just for receptions on his own roster with Lockett and Metcalf, but also with all these quarterbacks and Bijan Robinson for the award. Devin Witherspoon, I think, is one of the favorites to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Very well could. I would give a better shot to Witherspoon. I'd be surprised if JSN does. James Mack, a first-time super chatter. Yeah! Bang! With a $10 super chat writes in, bleeding green and blue since 1982. From the LOB to the apocalypse. I think we take down the Chiefs and steal their three-peat. I love it. I love that, James Mack. That'd be great if the Seahawks found a way to win this Super Bowl, stop the Kansas City Chiefs. It'd be fantastic if they do. The Chiefs are the favorites this year. Patrick Mahomes and company, going to be tough to stop. On your end, what you're talking about here, James Mack, let's focus on the NFC first. Before you even get to a team like Kansas City or Buffalo or Cincinnati, whoever's on that side. Philadelphia, San Francisco, Dallas, the Giants. That's kind of it. Competition is a little bit down in the NFC compared to the AFC. So if you can figure some stuff out and get it all together, James, who knows? That's why we play the games. I like the enthusiasm, though. Seahawks beat the Chiefs for the Super Bowl. Buddy says the Seahawks will win the NFC West. They could. They could do that. If the Seahawks win the NFC West, then the Niners, I think, have to have some instability with their quarterback situation and some injuries, and we've seen that happen to them over the years. It's not just going to be the Seahawks play the best they possibly can, but it's going to require some bad luck from the Niners too. That could happen. Very well could happen, but let's see. I'm selfishly, as one of the 12s out there, I'm hoping that the Niners don't get this quarterback thing figured out because that'll make life a lot easier for the Seahawks. Want the Seahawks to win the division? Here's what I need you to do. Type S in the chat. Drop it in the comment section for your Seattle Seahawks. Sound off 12s. Show some love for your Seattle Seahawks if you want them to win the division. All right, got a few more here. Steve John. Witherspoon has over 7 interceptions. Tariq Woolen tied for the league lead last year in interceptions with 6. Over 7, 8? That'd be pretty incredible. I don't think that's happening, but who knows? It's Pax with the last one. DK, Tyler, Lockett, and JSN all have over 1,000 yards. You know, this one actually isn't impossible. DK and Tyler have been doing a good job of having 1,000-yard seasons in their careers. What would have to happen in order for this to be the case is the Seahawks would have to run the football less. And if they don't have Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, then they might be running the football less. But this one, they're going to have to pass the football a lot. Maybe not as crazy as some people would think. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Tyler Jones Live. You can find me there. I'll see you next time, right here. Seahawks Today. All right, we are done with our segments. James, I got to pay off your $10 super chat. Thank you for sending that in, James. And that puts us at a nice $69.99. So we'll round up $70.
Great success.
Very nice. Very nice. And so that, with the $10 super chat that came in, we'll take a couple shots. I owe you just one shot, but Tracy and I feel generous. We'll each take one.
Yeah. Got to get this thing moving.
So we're at 70. Not a bad day. Not a bad day in the office.
Nope.
But there's still more work to be done.
Guys, we're 30 away from a beer bong, and then we're not much closer to passing the Niners.
So here's our milestones to get to next. James, first-time super chatter. Cheers to you, James. James Mack. The Mac Daddy. James Mack. Spam James in the chat. Shout out James.
James.
Thank you, James, for that first-time super chat. You're a real one. Welcome to the family. So here's what we'll do. I'm putting 2 minutes on the clock. We get a super chat in the next 2 minutes. We stay live. We keep the battle going. And we keep on partying and having a good time. We are $30 away from a beer bong. And we are $130 away from a beer boot and also winning the day, beating Steelers Talk and the 49ers Report. 2 minutes on the clock right now. Everybody spam James in the chat. Thanks for that $10 super chat, James. Much love to you, brother. Hope you've had a good time with us here on the channel today. Oh, Trace, been a fun show this afternoon.
It's been a really fun one. It's been a good one.
I'm not ready to stop drinking yet, though.
Yeah. Keep this moving. Got to get the super chats in.
Mountains are blue.
Mountains are staying blue. Just like the Seahawks.
Right. Let's show them that super chat menu.
Let's do it.
For those at home, as we are in the final 2 minutes, shot clock is on. Any super chat equals shout out. $5, we do the DK song. $7, we do a Geno shot. We just took some shots right there for James with his $10 super chat. $20 for chugging beer. $50 to do a beer shotgun. We are 30 away from the beer bong. And we are about 130 away from a beer boot. So we'll see. If we get a super chat, we'll stay live. We'll keep drinking and have a good time. We can keep talking Seahawks to ourselves. But it's up to you guys. Your show. Let us know. James says, great channel, Tyler. James, thanks for listening. James, I want to make sure you and others are subscribed. Let me put the sub link in the chat. Because we're talking Seahawks every day.
Not just today.
If you had a good time today, just wait till our watch party next week.
Oh, those are electric.
We're not going to have a live show on a Wednesday because we got the game on Thursday.
Yeah.
But make sure you subscribe.
It's going to be fun.
So you can be here with us coming up Thursday night for our watch party. Subscribe link is in the chat right now. I got 15 seconds left on the shot clock before we sign off and call it a day. Trace, what do you got going on this weekend, man?
This weekend, hanging out with my family. My little brother goes back up to college next weekend, so gonna hang out with him a little bit more before he heads out of here, and gonna catch up on some sleep.
Your brother's name, he's Ty, right?
Ty, yep.
I love the stash he's got going.
Dude, my little brother's he's just turned 20. He's a sophomore in college. He's got this it's like literally if you took like a Crayola marker and just kind of penciled it in, that would be his mustache. It's hilarious. It's so good. And he's got a killer mullet, too. Shout out to Oklahoma State.
You know, when I saw a family photo the other day of the Gerard family, I saw Trace's brother. I'm like, yep. That
I see it.
That is definitely Trace's brother. Shout out to the Gerards. Great folks. Guys, we got to go. We'll see you Thursday night next week. Seahawks, Vikings. Be here. You won't want to miss it. Subscribe to the channel. We got you covered. We'll sign off. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. Thanks for joining us here on Seahawks Today.